been a lot of controversy surrounding the internet recently, but at the hub of it at the moment seems to be a YouTuber and streamer by the name of GeorgeNotFound, after he had some accusations made against him by another YouTube and streamer that goes by the name Katie Bugs. And this came after a VidCon that happened back in 2023, where she accused George of supposedly inappropriately touching him, which has which has led to a lot of fallout, including him being scrubbed from MrBeast branding and marketing for his new Feastables bars and many other things. So this all started because back in 2023 at a VidCon, or after a VidCon, there was apparently some inappropriate actions that were made against Katie Bugs. On this article here, it gives a good insight into what actually happened. So for those that are uninitiated, Katie Buzz is a Twitch creator who has claimed that she was SA'd by GeorgeNotFound, quote, at the beginning of the summer of 2023. The incident reportedly took place following VidCon at a hotel in Dream's room. Katie Bugs has alleged that George touched her inappropriately and asked if she was ticklish, and moreover, fellow streamer Nuvaru has come out to support the Twitch streamer and also accused George of having weird tickling kink. Katie Buzz has published several screenshots of her conversation with the Minecraft personality, who was part of the one of the initial creators of the Dream SMP. If you don't know what that is, go and do some research on it, because it's a bit controversial as well. And talked about the pair cuddling. Katie has talked about several other aspects of the encounter, which GeorgeNotFound has categorically addressed in his latest response video. We're not going to go into that video too deep because it's a half an hour long video, and if you want to check it out though, I'll leave a link to it down in the description. This article goes over the different elements in the latest clip made by the Dream SMP co-founder, where he addresses the allegation. So we're going to bypass the video, because if you want to check that out again, I'm not going to go too deep into it. We're going to just kind of summarize. So, starting in his second response video, GeorgeNotFound clarified that he had posted some tweets on X after the allegation was made, as he did not want to go radio silent on the matter. He also stated that this tweet after the first clip addressing of the accusation was not meant to be an admission of guilt. So, in his first response clip to the accusation, he showcased text conversations where Katie's group had exhibited a desire to play drinking games. However, she stated that the messages were from her friends and that it was not her who had encouraged the games. GeorgeNotFound in his latest video had this response to say. So this is about the drinking games from Katie. As for the iMessages he showed outside of Insta DMs, all proof was him showing a group chat he wasn't even in, showing messages from my friends, which isn't me. The only message showing a response from me was when he was asked to play the drinking game we played. That was after we played it the first night, the night that nothing happened. I liked the game and wanted to play it with other friends at the convention. So I asked for the name. I don't know how that's relevant to anything, and this was how George responded. So first she acknowledges the texts they showed them and talking about wanting to play drinking games are real, but that they were from her friends. So this is reasonable. I only brought this up because the implication was that this kind of thing was creepy of us, and we were forcing the game on them. In reality, it was a mutually talked about, and everyone was just having fun. So there was coming back the second night, kind of going back and forth, and the implications go on from there. So there's mentions of unmentioned friends, there's the cuddling incident, which I think is the kind of catalyst to all of this, so we'll touch on that a little bit. So we cuddled. This was in Katie's words. A lot of the touch was initiated by him, probably not realizing it. I mean, he was literally spooning me from my left as I faced Ghosty to my right. A lot of the cuddling he may have felt was personal, but was just me being drunk. Everyone on the couch was doing the same thing, all drunk, close together, but I get it, I was drunk. I didn't think cuddling automatically meant it was to turn sexual. I didn't know it was an invitation. I wasn't going to push him off in front of everyone. He took it as a step further in front of everyone. All because he presumed things and assumed he had the right. As a shy person, I could not speak up in front of him and everyone else, let alone say yes. Even if you wanted to take a step forward sexually, why do it in the open? If you're cautious about consent, why not ask? That's usually the first step, and more important, why does everything have to be taken a step further? And may I reiterate that I was drunk. And in George's response, he said, I do think a lot of the cuddling was initiated by me, but some of it wasn't. I was also drunk, but my impression at the time was it was very mutual. I don't think just cuddling is an invitation for anything. I only brought the cuddling up because it's something that she didn't mention at all in her original stream. Anyway, if you want to check this all out, by the way, it is all part of the thing, but that was kind of the hot talking point, if you will, for this, which was the cuddling, which initiated and kind of led on to other things. George felt like he was led on, and Katie felt like she did not give off anything to imply that was what she wanted to do.
I'm sorry. I feel terrible about it, and I'm sorry that I didn't. Again, I'm really sorry for this, and I'm sorry, Katie, that I did not do that for you, and I'm sorry that I did not. And I'm sorry. I am sorry, Katie. I'm sorry for how this will affect you going forward. I'm sorry that everything got to this point.
Is this a fucking apology or a response? What are you apologizing for? Fucking two adults cuddled and a waist was touched. Is that what we're apologizing for? Are we serious? Fucking, why do you have 11 apologies in your goddamn video?
Now, that was obviously someone reacting to the clip, but there was, like he said, 11 apologies within his response video, that half an hour one that was linked down below, and people are like, well, if you're not guilty, why did you apologize so much? But for GeorgeNotFound, this is probably the best thing for him to do because he's made her feel a particular way, so he's apologizing to her, but that's kind of by the by. But the biggest kind of fallout from this recently is that GeorgeNotFound, who was, you know, a big part of MrBeast's community, you know, one of the bigger creators in the world as well, actually was part of MrBeast's branding campaign for his new Feastables. And you can see the original photo, which is on the left-hand side, includes George down here as part of the branding and all the rest of it. And since these allegations have come out, he has been dumped from this post and these branding, and has been cut out of the image, as you can see here, and they've clearly just reshot the image, and that is amid the accusations. And obviously MrBeast wouldn't want something like this to kind of implicate his brand, his image, his Feastables bars, all the rest of it. So, you know, I think it's fair that he's done that. He's just trying to cover his own back, protect his investments and things like this, but obviously that's kind of added fuel to this fire, and it's made it particularly difficult for GeorgeNotFound. And just before GeorgeNotFound did actually respond, Dream, who was also part of the Dream SMP, obviously he was like one of the lead founders and has had his own accusations as well, responded to this before George even had a chance to respond. So he posted, George has assured me he will be making a detailed stream statement. I didn't want to sleep without giving more perspective first. These are the texts from me to Katie's best friend, who was also there months after VidCon. I have more to say after whenever George releases his statement, and these are the text messages. So it says, it's honestly so crazy that he even tweeted that without even consulting Katie first. Yeah, it's insane. So the blue is obviously going to be Dream because he's posting the screenshots. In a different world, if something bad had happened, like him not even asking Katie about it is crazy. Like, I love that guy, but that's fucking insane. So disrespectful. Literally. It's worse than nothing did, because obviously he knows nothing. and then unfortunately we've got some cut off screen images here that we can't actually see. I didn't invite her, did. I don't know who the is. I didn't know she was 18 either. So this is a huge part of it because she was 18 at the time. That was another part of the controversy that was addressed within George's response, was that he wasn't aware that she was 18. And as we can see from this article here, one of the topics he addressed in depth was Katie Bugg's age and how he was unaware of it. The British Minecraft personality said that he had assumed she was over the age of 21 because she was drunk after visiting an official VidCon after party, George said. The last thing to mention is her age. Like I said, I wasn't aware at the time that she was 18. I mentioned that they had come from an official VidCon after party, they were drunk. And I made the assumption that knowing how these events are run, that she was probably over the age of 21, as they wouldn't have been able to drink in there otherwise. Now, they actually said that they drank somewhere else briefly before showing up, and that makes more sense. So, he then went on to say that it's irresponsible for me that I made that assumption, and he would explicitly ask for a person's age amid the controversy. So she was actually 18, he assumed that she was over 21. He himself is 27, so you can see where the issues kind of lie, because basically in the US the drinking law is over 21, in the UK it's over 18, but this VidCon after party would have taken place in America, so she would have had to be 21 for her to be able to drink. I also brought up, when I was going back through the text, I found a picture of one, and she was wearing a 21 plus age wristband. And I showed this picture, and this is from a group chat that I wasn't in. But Dream showed me this when I was making my video, and I figured it was relevant why I was under the impression she wasn't 18. So according to him, this is that that wristband, and you can definitely see that it says over 21 on it. It is now mentioned that Katie wasn't actually the one that was wearing it, and it was just someone else's hand, which doesn't bode very well for the streamer. So it's hot water, and it's a very grey area, because it comes across, you know, he's being accused of this. He's apologised within his thing, but he's claiming that he's innocent, and, you know, trying to back it up with proof, and then the proof turns out to be kind of empty. So, you know, there is very muddy grey waters that we're in at the moment, and it's not looking good for GeorgeNotFound. Yes, especially with him being dropped by the likes of MrBeast. So, with all that said, what do you make of this whole situation? Is this controversy, you know, going to be a career ender for GeorgeNotFound, or do you think that this is just a bump in the road and he can clear his own name? I'd love to hear what you guys have to say on this matter down in the comments below. While you're down there, be sure to jump scare the hell out of that like button if you have enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new, and tickle my little bell so you get notified whenever we upload. And until next time, guys, I hope that you have enjoyed. I cannot wait to see the next one, and I'll speak to you later. Peace.